The beard is about to get cut from Houston. Okay, well, the beard is about to get traded, but if I say that, then the pun doesn't work. The point is, it's not a matter of if a James Harden trade will happen, but when. Harden is making it clear he wants a fresh start somewhere else, and the Houston Rockets are willing to make that happen. In fact, they're looking to make this blockbuster deal as soon as possible. But when you're trading a former MVP, an 8-time All-Star, and a 3-time scoring champion, coming out on the winning side of the trade is more important than ever. In today's video, I'm offering up 5 realistic trades that the Rockets could pull off to bring back the most value and start a new post-Harden era in Houston. Hey, it's Troy. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notification bells, posting fresh videos on this channel several times a week. And if you're anything like me, then you love fake trades. And when it's a superstar like James Harden, then it's even better. For any trade involving James Harden, Houston is going to be looking for a combination of up-and-coming players, all-stars, and draft picks. So the trades you're about to see will reflect that. This first trade puts Harden back in California where he grew up. This is a proposed trade to the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors will get James Harden, and they'll trade Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and James Wiseman, the big man who they just got with the number 2 pick in the 2020 NBA Draft. They'll also send over Minnesota's 2021 pick that they have as a result of the D'Angelo Russell trade this past season. This pick is top 3 protected. So if Minnesota falls outside of the top 3, this pick goes to the Warriors. This allows Golden State to run with Steph Curry and James Harden in the backcourt spots for this season. They'll have Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney filling out the starters. Once Klay Thompson returns from his injury next year, they can roll out a 3-guard lineup of Curry, Harden, and Thompson as the starters. Lots of shooting, lots of scoring with that team. For Houston, this allows them to build around John Wall, Andrew Wiggins, and James Wiseman. And remember, they still have Eric Gordon and Christian Wood for some extra depth on the team. Jordan Poole still has lots of potential as a backup shooting guard, and if Andrew Wiggins is finally able to realize his potential, he could be a franchise piece for the Rockets. The 2021 pick is also really good value. The draft next year has lots of potential superstars. All in all, this could be a really quick rebuild for Houston. This next trade is a 3-team deal. It sends James Harden to the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors send Kyle Lowry to the Clippers, and the Clippers send Paul George to the Houston Rockets. There's also some other pieces involved too. OG Anunoby gets routed to the Clippers from the Raptors, and big man Kabengele goes from the Clippers to the Rockets. The Rockets also pick up a future first-round and 2 future second-round picks. This gives the Toronto Raptors a backcourt of Fred VanVleet and James Harden. They also don't have to give up Pascal Siakam in this deal. I think Siakam is better as a number 2 option. This would allow him to fulfill that role with James Harden at the 2-guard spot. The Clippers need a starting caliber point guard, and they get one with Kyle Lowry, who is one of the best veteran lead guards in the NBA. I think he and Kawhi Leonard would be a really nice 1-2 punch for the Clippers. The Clippers also get a stud in OG Anunoby. Yeah, it will hurt for the Raptors to give up this guy, but if you're getting James Harden, then those are the types of moves you have to make. Anunoby, one of the best young defenders in this league. He and Kawhi Leonard would wreak havoc on opposing teams. For the Rockets, Paul George could form a nice 1-2 punch with John Wall. Kabengele is an up-and-coming big man. He could eventually be a starter for the Rockets. This next trade is also a 3-teamer, and it reunites James Harden with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets send Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert to Houston. They send Taurean Prince, Jarrett Allen, and Landry Shamet to Orlando. Orlando sends big man Aaron Gordon to Houston, and Houston also sends Daniel House to the Magic. The Magic also pick up a late first round and a second round pick from the Nets. For Brooklyn, this deal is a no-brainer. You can roll out Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant as your big three. You'll still have Joe Harris and his shooting and the big man play of DeAndre Jordan. For Orlando, there have been trade rumors surrounding Aaron Gordon for quite some time. You send him out and you're able to get back some prospects in Landry Shamet and Jarrett Allen, a big guy in Taurean Prince, and some shooting in Daniel House, plus you pick up the extra picks. Once Jonathan Isaac is healthy, you can move him into that 4 spot where he's most comfortable. Houston completely revamps their team with this trade. Dinwiddie is one of the best backup point guards in the league. You could even start him along with John Wall. Karis LeVert could be an all-star one day. He can play the 2 or the 3 spot. Then you've got a nice big guy with Aaron Gordon who you can pair with Christian Wood to make a really nice front court. This next trade sends James Harden to the Denver Nuggets for Will Barton, Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., and 2 future first-round picks. This is a great deal for Denver because you don't have to give up Jamal Murray. You run out a lineup of Jamal Murray and James Harden in the backcourt spots. Nikola Jokic stays at the center spot. Imagine all the playmaking and scoring with Murray, Harden, and Jokic. For the Rockets, the crown jewel of this trade is Michael Porter Jr. He could be a future superstar in this league. You also get Gary Harris, who is a solid starter at the 2-guard spot. And Will Barton has made it clear that he doesn't want to come off the bench, and I don't know if he'll be able to be a starter for Denver the way the roster is currently constructed. He starts at that 3 spot for Houston. Finally, we've got James Harden going to the Indiana Pacers for Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, Goga Bitadze, and a future first-round pick. I really like the lineup of James Harden pairing with Malcolm Brogdon in the backcourt. You're able to move TJ Warren to that 4 spot, keep Miles Turner at the 5. If you're the Pacers, you also get to keep Aaron Holiday, who's one of the nicer up-and-coming point guards in the league. For Houston, this is a home run trade. You get John Wall and Victor Oladipo in the backcourt spots. Sabonis and Christian Wood complement each other very, very well in the frontcourt spots. Christian Wood is more of a stretch big than Miles Turner, and I think that bodes well for Sabonis' game. Indiana, of course, would want to include Turner over Sabonis, but if I'm Houston, there's no way I do this deal without Sabonis. I also see big things for Goga Bitadze. He's a nice up-and-coming big man in this league. If he becomes a starter down the line, I think you could trade him for even more assets. That's what I think, but let me know in the comments where you think James Harden will end up. Tell me what you think about these trades. If you enjoy this content, like the video and subscribe to the channel for new NBA videos several times a week. Make sure you click the boxes on the screen to help support the channel. This is Troy, and I'll catch you next time on the Half Court Report.